Prosciutto wrapped pork is cheaper than filet with celery root puree and sauce Espagnole. Not this kind of celery, celery root. What comes out of this isn't anything like this. The root end is kind of naughty, and a peeler isn't going to do. The rest of that peel we'll get to later. These are getting a little olive oil on the outside and wrapped in foil. That allows us to cook these without adding extra water, but the foil will keep the moisture in. Celery root would be good on its own, even better if I had a parsnip. When you expose that celery root, think of it like an apple. A little lemon juice will keep it from browning. Since these are getting cooked right away, that's not really a problem. Roasting celery root in the oven intensifies the flavor. Those are going into a 400-degree oven. This sauce starts with shallots, celery, and carrots. The fine dice will help us extract the flavor quickly. Make a hole, add some garlic and a bay leaf. That's going to need about 30 seconds. Garlic always smells good. Any good meat sauce starts with a little vino. Notice I didn't add tomato paste. Tomato juice. Tomato juice is way less concentrated, therefore a little less intense. Not just any stock, bone broth. High protein content means that this was made with a lot of quality meat products, has a lot of collagen, and is going to give this sauce the right texture. The filet, or tenderloin, that's the filet mignon of pork. That silver skin has got to go. It's the only piece that's tough in this entire piece of meat. Whether it takes one pass or two or three, as long as it comes out, we're good. Sage and pork, classic combination, but I don't want to eat a whole leaf. Just sage flavor permeating the meat. Sage, salt, pepper. This whole thing's getting wrapped in prosciutto. Pork tenderloin wrapped in Italian cured pork. That's not going to suck. We know those parsnips are tender enough to puree when they're between 195 and 200-ish. Those celery roots, the celery root need to be more like 200, 210. So the parsnips are out, but the celery roots will need a few more minutes. That big one took a while, but finally, we got it over 200. You don't have to peel those parsnips. But it's nicer if you do. It's the creamy white flesh you want. Parsnips and celery root. You definitely want to peel that. Roasted celery root and parsnip. Gonna make a beautiful puree. A food processor will work, but a good blender will give you the best texture. I love my Vitamix. Salt, sugar, a touch of lemon juice to brighten things up, and heavy cream. This is why I love my Vitamix. That looks pretty good, but everything's better with butter. Roasting makes it sweeter and gives you the best texture and flavor. That's a quick way to make a sauce Espagnole. Strained, and in a short time, a nice thick sauce. Olive oil, and seam side down to seal the deal. Pork tenderloin is lean. You don't want to overcook it. Leave the sauce like that or mound it with cold butter and swirl. The swirling action will emulsify the butter into the sauce, giving that sauce the proper sheen and body. That prosciutto is crispy. We're there, but don't cut it right away. You want to let it rest first. 125 and 15 minutes for carryover cooking will give you the most tender piece of pork you've ever eaten. Give me a couple slices of that. Creamy celery root puree. Roasted Brussels sprouts would be nice with this. Prosciutto wrapped pork. And sauce Espagnole.
Like a thinly sliced bacon wrap filet. Give me more of that sauce. That crisp little bit of prosciutto wrapped around there with the sage. Holy shit, that's tender. Oh, why would you even want mashed potatoes? This is just so decadent. Well, you put a lot of butter in there.
You mean butter?
No, I mean butter. How does it have anything to do with Espagnole?
It's one of the mother sauces.
So delicious, that sauce. Espagnole sauce?
It's the tomato juice.
It's rich and decadent, yet it's good, clean eating. That's a fancy dish.